Free to begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Foles. I will call to order the special meeting of the Maplewood Economic Development Authority, September 28th, 2020. Ms. Sint, could you do the roll call?
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Abrams?
Here.
Commissioner Juniman?
Here.
Commissioner Nevlet?
Present.
President Knutson?
Here.
Mayor, this is Melinda. We have a public service announcement that we need to make. You have a text message from Joe Sheeran, and I have it as well. So if you would like me to read it, I can, or if you'd like to check your email and read it, it's a text message to you.
I'm sorry, I don't see it. Could you read it?
I would be happy to do so. So we got this information from Chief Mondor. We are currently experiencing a 9/11 system outage in Ramsey County. Other local dispatch centers are also experiencing a 911 outage. It says, please call 767-0640 if you have an emergency in Maplewood or in Ramsey County. And we will be provided an update as soon as we have additional information.
Could you give that number out one more time?
Yes. So people who may be listening, if you have a 911 emergency, please call 651-767-0640.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry for the interruption, but I thought you'd want to know that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will proceed. Do we have an approval for the agenda?
I move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Juniman, second by Commissioner Nevlitz. Any discussion? Okay, we'll go in this order. Commissioner Nevlitz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Abrams?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Juniman?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. We have an approval of the minutes. One question, did everyone get a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And we'll accept a motion.
I'll move approval of the minutes of the September 14th Economic Development Authority meeting.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Abrams, second by Commissioner Nevlitz. Minutes are approved. We have tonight a public hearing.
Wait, we only had a motion. We got to take a vote.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, come on. Commissioner Nevlitz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Abrams?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Juniman?
Aye.
President votes aye as well. Now, this evening, we have a public hearing, a tax increment financing and business subsidy agreement for the Maple Ridge Center. Do we have a presentation? Mr. Thompson?
Thank you, Mr. President and Commissioners. Tonight before the EDA is a contract with the property owner of Maple Ridge Center, which involves both the tax increment financing and business subsidy agreement. This is for the Hy-Vee project, which is proposed at Maple Ridge Center. New grocery store, new freestanding gas station, and a liquor store within the multi-tenant shopping center. And again, the application that we have for a tax increment financing application is from the current property owner, which is Suso 4 Maple Ridge in Toronto, Ontario. So the agreement before the EDA has two components. You did do a brief review of this at your last meeting. We have finalized the terms of both the TIF and business subsidy components of the agreement, and so we are bringing it forward for the EDA tonight for final approval. The terms are generally the same. I'll highlight what has changed from your review at the last meeting 2 weeks ago. But what remains is it is the EDA would issue a $500,000 pay-as-you-go tax increment revenue note. The EDA would then pledge 90% of the increment created by the project to repay on that note, which the city and EDA estimate will take approximately 8.5 years to repay that amount. That $500,000 is for reimbursement for the cost of constructing public infrastructure improvements, both on White Bear Avenue with relocating and access to the site to align with from some of the commercial properties to the east, some improvements within White Bear Avenue for the access, and then also adding a new signalized intersection in that location. And then second, some improvements along Jarvis Avenue, again, for access consolidation and traffic improvements. So that's what the EDA would reimburse for. In consideration for that, the property owner would be required to have Hy-Vee as an anchor tenant within the shopping center with minimum investment of $5.36 million for the grocery store, which would also include improvements to the liquor store. So if they did any sort of investments for the liquor store, that would be included in that $5.36 million figure. And then they would also be required to construct the new convenience store and gas station, as well as constructing the public infrastructure improvements with completion required by the end of next year. In a bit, this is where there has been a change to the agreement from 2 weeks ago. In our final discussions with not only the property owner, but Hy-Vee, as they are ultimately the jobs generator, a significant amount of discussion, we landed on a jobs requirement of 60 new full-time equivalent jobs. The wage is not changed. That's the wage that's consistent with our policy. Each of those required jobs would have to pay at least $10.50 per hour, exclusive of benefits. They have to remain in operation for 5 years, and if they do not achieve those job goals, they would have to repay the subsidy. The concern, again, this is a Hy-Vee that's ultimately generating this job. There was some concern that this is, they have not included this in past agreements that they've had, so it's a unique component that Maplewood has requested. What was important to them is the full-time equivalent component, because as the grocery store, they do create a significant amount of part-time jobs. We do anticipate that there will be the same number of jobs as it had anticipated, have been discussed about with the EDA and the council before, but ultimately the requirement in this agreement is just for those 60 new FTE positions. So tonight, it is really the business subsidy section of the agreement that does require a public hearing before the EDA. So we have published this meeting and a summary of the business subsidy for the public's review and for the public hearing this evening. And then upon conclusion of the public hearing, we are recommending that the EDA approve that contract for private redevelopment with Suso for Maple Ridge. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Neblitz, any questions?
None, thank you.
Commissioner Abrams? Commissioner Abrams?
No, I don't have any questions. I just have a comment that I'm very pleased that this is I believe, our final approval for the Hy-Vee project. Very happy about that, but no questions.
Commissioner Smith?
No questions for me, thank you.
Commissioner Junman? Commissioner Junman?
Sorry, I couldn't get the button to work. It hates me. No question, but a comment. Thanks to the staff involved, because I know there was some, shall we say, loss of translation and working with people that aren't used to our process, apparently. So thank you for getting this accomplished.
I just have one question. reminds me that I asked the question some time ago about what the Hy-Vee has for a lease to the property owners. As I recall, I think it was around 15 years. Is that right, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, based on the past discussion at the EDA, yes, we still believe there's a 15-year term. Brittany Finch with the property ownership group is also on the line if you want to confirm that with her.
Go ahead, please.
Hi, everyone. Yes, the lease does run for 15 years.
Thank you. I think that's critical. You know, the 8.5 years to repay and all the other things here, 15-year lease, a commitment to the property owner is pretty substantial. So thank you for that. Okay, it's time to open the public hearing. Mr. Folds, is there people waiting to speak or render an opinion? Anyone?
My apologies, President. If you happen to be asking for speakers, I missed that.
Yes, for the public hearing.
My apologies. We do have one other caller on the line. I do not know if they are listening for the public hearing or not, but as in past practices, we've given them the opportunity to speak. So the caller with the last four digits of 1726, would you like to leave public comment? Caller with the last four digits of 1726.
Hi, I don't actually have any comments. I'm just listening in.
Perfect. Thank you very much. President, that was the only caller other than Ms. Finch.
Okay. So if there's no other persons interested in commenting in the public hearing, we will officially close the public hearing. Next, we have a motion to approve the contract for private redevelopment of the Suso 4 Maplewood LP.
I'd like to
So
move the
moved.
contract for private redevelopment with Suso for Maple Ridge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Abrams to approve the LP, seconded by Commissioner Neblitz. Is there any further discussion? Let's call for the vote. Commissioner Neblitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Abrams,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Juniman,
Aye.
and the president votes aye as well. We have a Hy-Vee.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! Excellent.
It was well done,
Congratulations.
everybody. Okay, we have no unfinished business. We have no new business. If there's nothing else to come before the commission, the authority, I would call for adjournment. Thank you very much.